So Gray Zone Warfare is set to come out in Q1 2024, and I'm very excited for this game. It is a immersive tactical FPS with a maximum focus on realism. Play as one of the private military companies and navigate a vast open world setting alone or in a squad. Adapt to your surroundings, use tactics to your advantage, and fight against other human operators and AI controlled enemies. Now, I was lucky enough to get my hands on an early preview of this trailer and gameplay footage, as well as knowing more lore and backstory to this up-and-coming game, Gray Zone Warfare. If you didn't know, Gray Zone Warfare is very similar to like Tarkov and Ghost Recon Wildlands in an open-world setting. We know that you can play anywhere from 1 player up to 4 players in a squad, and there are 3 PMC factions to play amongst with 48 players or more or less on an open server at a time. It's like an open world Tarkov with persistent servers, deep lore, 3 factions, and a great community engagement from the developers who are working actively with content creators to get the message out about this up-and-coming game. We know that this game is being developed by Madfinger Games on Unreal Engine 5. It's like a wholly glorified, better, beautiful looking Tarkov in Ghost Recon Wildlands. We know that players can join a private military company, go on missions, and extract loot. Today there is brand new information that has been embargoed for the last week now that you are hearing for the first time. If you are somewhat interested in this game, this is a brand new video with brand new information. First off, let's jump right in and talk about the questing, the quest system and how they work. Just like the rest of Gray Zone Warfare, the emphasis when designing quests is on realism and internal logic. They don't want the players to venture into the world to find X pieces of Y or bring back tons of nonsensical items without any meaning. The developers go on to say that this is a living open world aspect of the game and there are no set spawns or events that will always happen during a specific quest. They also want to make sure that they stay as far away from excessive hand-holding as possible, therefore they don't want you to expect any type of massive waypoint markers guiding you step by step through the world. However, one thing we did notice in this recent trailer that there is a compass. Now, we haven't seen this compass in every trailer, we haven't seen in every feature where there actual is gameplay, but towards the end of this new trailer with new gameplay shows that there is some type of compass HUD, which it will be very nice to have. They've also said that they implemented branching decisions where after the player receives a quest, it's possible that another character, AI, can chime in with a slightly different proposition. The players can pick according to their moral compass or just because they'd like the reward more. Completing the quest and choosing to whom to cooperate with will shift the player's reputation with each character, providing them with new possibilities or different choices. They also confirmed that the player can look forward to 150 quests at launch and early access, with more added over time. I think that's a huge number of quests, which is great and gives us plenty to do right out of the get-go. Now let's talk about the deep history and the lore here, because this is important to know why there's 3 PMC factions, why did they exist, what are we doing here, where is this place, etc. So this is an island, and this is the Democratic Republic of La Manche, an island somewhere in Southeast Asia. It is a former British colony, which gained its independence in 1948, but was ravaged by a brutal civil war 20 years later when the remnants of an anti-British resistance known as the Sons of Le Mans, or the SOL, were dissatisfied with the independent government's rule. Over the next few years, those who managed to escape the island told a vastly different story and pleaded with the rest of the world for help. The UN, United Nations, decided to act and form a UNLRA, which is the United Nations Le Mans Relief Agency. Then, a few months later after that, a disaster struck with a blinding flash and thunderous roar. A part of the island was forever transformed by a sudden, cataclysmic event. Now, they go on to talk about this actual event here and this evacuation that the United Nations holds, and it says the official channels cryptically speak of an unspecified environmental disaster while a plethora of far-fetched theories and uncovered truths scour the World Wide Web and beyond. A volcano erupting, a chemical factory exploding, a nuke going off, a satellite crashing, secret experiments gone terribly wrong, etc. We don't really know. It will be up to the players to find out for themselves. After the event, the island was mostly evacuated except for those who were left behind. Seeing that the island was practically abandoned, many organized crime groups, pirates, and other lowlifes gathered in Le Mans to plunder what was left or even claim the island entirely, engaging in skirmishes with Le Mans armed forces, who were ordered to stay behind and guard high-value targets. The first PMC arrived shortly after, followed soon by 2 others. Which then takes us into the information about these PMCs, these private military companies, and we have 3 of them, which varying backstories, starting positions on the map, etc. But when early access starts for this game, we know that the only differences between them is that the fact that they have a different backstory and different starting positions. Our first PMC here is the Le Mans Recovery Initiative, which was founded and funded by a tech billionaire who is reported to be one of the wealthiest men on the planet. LRI publicizes itself as a strictly philanthropic exercise, a private wealth mounting a humanitarian operation to search for pockets of survivors in and around Ground Zero even after the UN abandoned the island. Next we have Mithras Security Systems. Mithras bills itself as a PMC run by soldiers for soldiers, and it doesn't ask too many questions about an operator's motivations or past history. The only real bar to Mithras membership is a lack of field experience or military competence. It prides itself on only accepting the best and pays accordingly. And the last PMC we have is Crimson Shield International. This private military company rose to infamy during the early stages of the Syrian Civil War. While they boast an impressive 95% success rate, some of their methods can be seen as somewhat questionable, often resulting in collateral damage. That said, no one can deny their effectiveness and cold-blooded approach to any job that needs to be done. This gung-ho nature attracts not just ex-military personnel, but basically anyone with a lust for adventure and action. However, thanks to their strict elimination process, only the true exceptional soldiers ever make it as far to be deployed on an actual combat mission. Now, in this new gameplay trailer that they showed us, which again is brand new today as of December 21st, they show us some of the vendors and tell us a little bit about them. As we can see, they gave us 3 here. Anton Jackson, which is Gunny, is a retired U.S. Marine Corps gunnery sergeant. Gunny is an awkward, truculent character who doesn't seem to like anything or anyone. Then we have Artisan. Artisan has worked at her father's workshop since she was a little girl, learning all there is to know about machines and how they work. And then we have James Miller, aka Banshee. For Banshee, the turbulent events unfolding in Le Mans were akin to a gold rush. The widespread chaos proved to be a lucrative market for his trade, attracting a surge of potential clients in dire need of his merchandise. So the developer specifically stated that these are not all of the NPCs, all the traders, the vendors. As you can see here, there's still 3 more. I can see we have Handshake, Lab Rat, and Turncoat. Just 3 other traders that they haven't discussed yet. I'm assuming over time we'll be able to discuss this. As we've seen it now, we've been getting new information, gameplay, trailers, information, etc. about every couple of weeks, 1 to 2 times a month. As we know, Gray Zone Warfare is scheduled to come out Q1 2024, so we should have some more information coming out in the next few weeks. So what do you guys think about Gray Zone Warfare? It's coming out in a couple months, maybe sooner, maybe later. It's got that Tarkov feel, it's got that Ghost Recon feel, it's got that Unreal Engine 5 graphics. It's looking good. I'm excited to jump into it. I like the fact that the world is persistent and you can just get in and get out whenever you want. There is no timer. It's not like a raid base where you get in, get out, you have to. You can get in, explore the entire place, and then get out whenever you want. I'm excited to customize my weapons and all that fun stuff and take out AI because they've mentioned that there's going to be over 1,000 AI on the map, which is absolutely crazy to me. Anyways, guys, we're going to be covering a lot of this game, Gray Zone Warfare. If you appreciate this video and you want to see more, hit that like button, subscribe, comment down below what you look forward to the most, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.